Look at that.
Yes,
you don't know
it
if it's
is.
going left or right, so I don't know if that's going to be a factor.
Yeah.
But yeah, for
But
the meantime, again, Shayakiri a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a bit, there's too many harassments that's going on here to and fro. Yeah, and you do see that arrow right there. It's quite misleading to which direction it would go, and you gotta really dance all the more. But looks like Trevor right here will be the one to, be targeted initially, but with the help of, him and his reflexes manages to back away, and, it pokes DR a little bit to and through, enough to shove him back. But going back, that was a nice pick-off for BSB, simply because they really abuse, really pinning down DR earlier.
Yeah, and of course you also have a Grok that can kind of solidify your position when you have a target that is locked down by the Abyssal Arrow, so that also helps a lot. So far, Trevor and Liang, BSB, looking really good on form. With their presence on the map, I think they're getting optimal gold generation with Wilson soloing on the bottom lane. I think Trevor was also on the top lane with Angela doing pretty well. Jiraxnu is not as far ahead as we want him to be, specifically with the coin veteran hunter, I think, for his emblem. It really does need a lot of uptime on jungle monsters. That's why you notice him. He's not really joining the team fights as much. Wants to go for the jungle camps right away. And I think it's helping his gold generation. Completed the Raptor's Machete. And so far, so good here for BSB. Onic, PH, they're just playing catch-up right now.
Indeed. And both of sides of the team are really opting for the turtle take right here. If you notice that both the Selena, the Kufra are on standby and really observing the turtle lane, so to avoid unnecessary pickoffs and objective takes. But going back here onto the top side, it looks like they will be having a kill of their own, successfully defeating Iaknu from that skirmish fight. And now Wise will be forced to use the Blazing Duet to go back, and the Bruno will compensate it with another pickoff, but then Kufra will have a bag on his own. But so far, this is looking pretty good for BSB.
Really looking comfortable here. I have to commend BSB. This is how you play it. I mean, some people, some teams, they force drafts that maybe sometimes they're not comfortable with. They look like they're having the time of their lives going around the map. They look like they have a plan. And that is just doing wonders for the blue side here with Onic PH on the defense for top lane. Wise soloing it up. Tower is going to go down soon. And Shider Cutie, they're just for the insurance policy.
Yes, definitely. And just looking at the positions right now, mostly they are kind of crowded in terms of the top side. But let's look at here at onto the bottom, just one by one between DR and Wilson here earlier, just taking some of the time to really give pressure in terms of bot lane. But speaking of pressure, it looks like DR and Wilson here will be continuing this pick-off, and with the members of Onic will be really getting him out of the map to give space to Wise and just get all of the resources as much. Blazing Duet will be used to shove the minions away. This is good economy for him, but up to what extent? Because if you look at the middle side, though, there are 3 manning the side, and that's another thing that you have to consider.
Yeah, Jirax playing it really well, doing good damage onto that tower. Bottom lane as well being taken care of by Onic PH. I really like that. They're not gonna let Wilson free farm because, like we did mention previously on the previous panels, this is used consistently by Onic PH themselves, right? With this Uranus pick with the execute, it really does work wonders. Big shout out to Mr. Wolf for using this very consistently as well, so he knows what I'm talking about. Going in for another Abyssal Arrow, not gonna be hitting the mark. Great. Roll in for that Kufra! Everyone is going down for the party, and the damage output is real. However, of course, Jiraxnu is still alive with the help of the Heart Guard from Angela. We'll be able to get at least a trade. Fuziken going down.
But man, Rockhart, that was a beautiful wall by the Cooper right there, really on a timely manner. He knows that the members of BSB are compiled, and he knows that his ult is already up, so why not abuse that? And that, it kind of closes the gap that Onic PH had earlier during our first few minutes of the game. But I like it how this second game of ours is not as speedy or as rushed as it was during game number 1. It means like, but before everything else, this is the replay that we had. Okay, so he went for the knockoff and walled onto the sides. And Sicilian, with the help of his fangs, goes all out with the help of Claude, just free hitting them all through.
Yeah, that would have been perfect cleanup if Claude had like one more item completed. That would have been it. Right, if he had that golden staff or endless bow completed, but fortunately again, BSB only losing 2 members despite it looking really devastating. Right, it looked really on point. So far, Jiraxnu still has a lot of firepower on this Bruno. We still cannot count him out. Scarlet Phantom and Berserker's Fury locked in with the Raptor's Machete. Basically double gold for everyone, so the funnel is working really well for BSB right now. And Iacno again on that Natalia, not as effective as we thought he would be, getting chased down by Shider Cutie as well.
I mean, that could have been a potential pickoff for the Selena earlier if you saw that he kind of hesitated a little bit, because there was like a split second a time wherein should I attack or not. But you know, it's still the same thing. They managed to disengage. They went back to safety, and now looking at the sides of BSB right here, they're really deciding to close to really clump up together, and you know, for a potential pickoff.
Yeah, and that's basically their strat. They have to clump up together as much as possible. Keep Jiraxnu alive. Make sure that even though he has the heart guard, he's still gonna be able to do enough damage. Because right now, it's really looking good here for BSB with 1 good kill. A very solid takedown there. Going for the chase up. They are not done. Another kill going over to Trevor here. It's 7-4, and they will get. They just looking at everything happening on the map. They go for the chase here on Oh My Venus. Going for those bats again, but not going to be enough. Oh, surprisingly takes down the Grok still, and Jiraxnu with the killing spree. Oh my gosh, what a long exchange here for Onic PH and BSB. BSB, relentless aggression all throughout.
Yes, indeed. Looks like what Manjin is saying earlier onto the panel area is, you know, showing some signs of life right here, as the Selena or Shader Cutie is just, you know, being all cute and being sniping with these arrows potentials right here, pulling through. But you know what? This is the thing. Come the mid to the late phases of the game is where we are starting to see that the Claude or Wise will be beneficial, most especially when this comes. And you know, guys, that the Selena is really optimal in terms of the early game. But come the mid to late phases, rather, let's see if it's still at its maximum efficiency.
Yeah, because usually the Selena's gonna be more visible in the late game, and people don't go down with just one Abyssal Arrow combo. So maybe it'll reduce in effectiveness, but you also have to note, if you hit the right target with Abyssal Arrow in the late game, 3 seconds is a lifetime. People die in a split second in the late game. So maybe just the right arrow is all it's gonna take for Shider Cutie's Selena. Before the meantime, again, it's gonna be another killing spree here. What killing spree on Angela? I did not. No one was looking at that. No one expected that. What happened here? Wow. Right now, Wilson, though, Heart Guard going to be absorbed here from Selena. BMI going out there. Wise is being hunted down like a deer in the forest. Shider Cutie tries to go for the arrow. Will it hit? Not going to be the case. But somehow Grog is here! He wants it, Cap1! They are not gonna stop until they get their mark! They're still going for it! Oh man, BSB! I like it! Oh man, this is how you play it, man.
So much resources, so much skill sets, eyes on the prize on that Claude. But you know what? Claude knows to dance, and he knows how to utilize his map. If you notice, there was the arrow, and then come a Grok right here with his with his ults right there, and you know, it's just man.
you know, Saya, that just goes to show if you're wise on the Claude right now, you cannot blink for 1 second. If you blink,
Yeah.
there's someone in the next bush who's gonna hunt you down and chase you. So you better be careful if you're wise. I think Wise's heart was pumping for
Yeah.
for a few minutes there nonstop. The way everywhere you turn, there's someone, right? So far with all of that aggression, Jiraxno is still getting some pretty good farm.
Indeed. I mean, it just really goes to show that Wise was really wise on utilizing the Claude earlier. But going back right here, resource take still into the favors of BSB, and they have the goal rate right here. But you know what's the most important thing that we are going to see right now is usually how they engage into or how they start the team fight. And with the minutes that we have, it looks like BSB is the one, you know, really gaining the pace, really controlling at this point. Because in terms of map, Onic still manage. They can still manage to go around their turf and, you know, get as much as they can. But the thing is, the Lord is already on the middle. It will surely some pressure for Onic PH. But again, up to what cost? And I like it though that Fuzuken was able to at least, you know, try to distract the members of BSB.
Yeah, it's so beneficial for them, just all of this distraction. It's working out so well. DLR gonna be jumped in once more. Hard guard gonna be saving that target, but not for long. Jiraxno goes down. Where's the damage gonna come here? From BSB, now that their marksman has been the dust. Tower will go down in mid lane. Then Trevor with a split pushing Angela. A little surprise there, but still getting hunted down by Iakno on the Natalia. Will be whoa, what the down? What?
Whoa,
The damage
what
out
a
from Trevor. Wow, offlane Angela is real.
Oh my goodness, what a damage indeed. And you know what? We just saw that Wise was dancing earlier, but the Angela was, you know, getting some kicks onto herself. But again, going back here, it looks like it will be silenced down, and the Sicilian will take that pick off, and they are just going all out. Uranus will be taking an exchange, but again, this is a 4-mana to what? 2-3 from the side of Onic PH, and they are the ones, you know, really getting the tower takes and, you know, compensating for their loss.
I gotta say that was a very nice try. You know, again they're really doing great regardless of how badly I think they're getting pushed down. They're still ahead in gold, even though their members are getting hunted. If earlier Jiraxno didn't die right away, that would have been a completely different story because the heart guard was there.
Yeah.
The right skills were used at the right moments. So I feel like Jiraxno just needs to toughen up a little bit, get some of those defensive items. It will look a lot better. However, again, Onic PH, even though they're behind in gold, don't you just think they're so scary on the map? They have that unique factor that they're always like this. They always seem to be so scary despite being on a deficit.
Truly, and the fact that they managed to really catch up by let's say 6k gold gap to down to 2, and they are the ones, you know, really taking the map control right now because they managed to really expose the top and the middle side all the more. And like what they said, Bruno in terms of mobility has that kind of disadvantage point against the Claude, but the beauty of it is that if ever so that the Bruno alongside with the Angela earlier was able to go in an aggressive manner, it could have been on a bag for BSB. But again, going back right here, hesitations are also, you know, I guess one of the to make it at least playing it safe.
Right. I mean, that's usually what pro teams practice to not do. Be hesitant in your decisions, because if you have to do a decision and you hesitate on it, that small split-second window could mean the complete failure of everything you've worked for the past 15 minutes, like right now. So again, all of this is basically on the shoulders of our marksmen so far, with the amount of damage output that they need to do and the decision making that they need to deal with. And so far, I feel like the decisions are being made by Onic PH. Just goes to show the command aura of Venus right here. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be effective until the later parts of the game.
Okay, so again, Kufra will be going in. Let's see, he forces to figure himself out, but look here, Jiraxno just taking the flame shots and the kills, but going here onto the side. Zatala gets a kill for herself, and the Blazing Duet will be used to get as much members as possible to shove it away. The Uranus will have an exchange, but the Claude is just given some space to pick off members alongside with Sicilian here with the damage output and just wiped out almost 4 members of BSB to 1.
Yeah, I think Onic PH knows what to do already. They saw Jiraxnu. He got hit a little bit. Flame Shot went straight to his face. And now Shider Cutie gonna be failing on the final defense. That is a wipeout. And that will be definitely game here for Onic PH. Quick 2-0. I gotta say that game was looking really good for BSB for a moment. But in the end, the victory goes over.